Hey guys, what's going on? This is your old pal CHH. Come on in. We got a fun, chill video today, kind of retrospecting a movie with Scream Factory. But the reason I wanted to do this video is today, while I was recording this, is Father's Day. Now, on my channel, I film a bunch of stuff at once, so this could come out well after Father's Day, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 days, maybe a month later. I don't know. But my point is, I was at my dad's house today for Father's Day, and we watched They Live this morning, and we had a great time. And I even said something on my community tab where I said, you know, guys, I was watching They Live with my dad today. I really want to put this movie in my top 5. Every time I watch it, I'm like, it's kind of perfect. It's in that perfect nebulous time of when John was making low-budget stuff, but not low-budget, really. I mean, it was humble, but it was nice productions and things like that, and the movie looks incredible, shot well. You know, to me, low budget's okay if you've got great equipment. You know, movies like Flesh Eater, if that would have been shot on video, that would have looked like crap and made the movie seem worse. But it was shot on nice 16mm, and it looks incredible in 4K, and it really elevates the project. With John, it's like super premium, low budget stuff, right? And yeah, that movie was great. The 1-2 punch of They Live and Prince of Darkness is really kind of like the perfect double feature from John, because they're these two really, I don't know, perfect themed movies. The devil on one hand and the corrupt government, because they're really aliens, on the other. I mean, they're both, it's a great double feature to me. I think it's some of my favorite stuff from John, or I know it is, because Prince is in my top 5 for sure. But anyway, I was watching They Live today, and I thought of something interesting. It's interesting how with Scream Factory, they really go the distance with some titles, and I think They Live is a great example of that. So, my dad, I wasn't even sure if he had a Blu-ray player at his house. So, when I told him I wanted to watch this, he was like, perfect, bring over a copy of the movie. I brought this. They Live, the Scream Factory DVD. And that's why I thought this might be a fun video, guys. Scream Factory, when they started, were doing their releases on DVD and Blu-ray. So, you know, the first titles that came out were Halloween's 2 and 3, and I want to say right after that, maybe, because they're not numbered, but I want to say They Live was probably 3, 4, or 5. I mean, it came immediately after 2. As a matter of fact, I think I got these in extremely close proximity. And I thought that would be really cool to kind of retrospect the releases that They Live has had from Scream Factory, because this is a title that at the time when I got this was incredible, and it was kind of a perfect release because they had great interviews at the time, and they got interviews with John. John was willing to talk about these movies openly. I don't think he had gotten super bitter about talking about this stuff over and over again. I kind of get it. You know, he's talked about these movies forever. But I think at the time, he was probably more than happy to talk about They Live. But yeah, look at this. I thought you guys would find this really cool. They did the collector's slips for They Live. You've got all the artwork that you would get from the Blu-ray version, just bigger on a slipcover. Wicked cool. And then, just like on the Blu-ray, which I think this actually looks great on a DVD, is They Live, the collector's edition. And it's the reversible art on there in the DVD case. So, how sick is that? Let's see what the inside shows. Okay. Yeah, they used nice DVD cases back then, too. They used nice, clear DVD cases. That way you could see the reversible art. So it's just so cool that Scream Factory was doing this back then. And I actually have a number of them. I have Day of the Dead, The Howling, and Psycho 2, and Halloween 2. So I have a number of Scream Factory DVDs. If you guys want to see my collection of the Collector's Edition DVD release, let me know. I'll do a video on that. But this was great. I remember when I got this, I was watching the John Carpenter interview where he's asked about the fight scene, and he's like, did you ever feel you needed to trim the fight scene? He's like, fuck no. I love John. I love John. Even if he said something I disagree with, I appreciate his blunt nature of not curtailing how he feels about anything. I actually, funny story real quick, I saw an interview at a convention. It wasn't a Halloween convention, but it was like some convention he was at, and somebody says, now that the Halloween Blumhouse movies are done, what do you think? And he was trying to be diplomatic, but he was like, I give David credit for really trying to do something different with Halloween Ends, but I have some problems with it. We didn't get his answer on that, but he did say that. So maybe one day we'll hear what he didn't like about those movies. But yeah, so this was great, and of course the Blu-ray came out in complete conjunction with this, guys. And yeah, I've put many miles on this, and it went out of retirement for a long time, so I got to use it today, which was just sensational. So yeah, we watched this, and it looks good. You know, he did have the Blu-ray player, so I could have brought a different release, but you know, we watched this together, and it was really great, guys. So I think you guys should look out for these at the pawn shops and flea markets, the old Scream Factory collector's editions. You may be even able to get these on Amazon still, but with the slips, I would hesitate to say you would. That would probably be dangerous. So after that, Scream Factory was going through their catalog of stuff they were putting out, and they did their steelbooks. But at the time, the steelbooks were actually sold to me from some of my collector's friends in a positive light. They were saying, hey, even though these are resales, you should know that they're actually remastering the films again, so they're going to look even better. And lo and behold, when I heard about this, I was like, well, I'd love to get this. Now, at the time, obviously you can see from the previous release we looked at, this was the only way I had it. So I was like, oh, well, I only have it on DVD. This was before I started really buying Blu-rays. So I would love to have the movie on Blu-ray, much less a 4K remaster. And they had this huge theme going on with their steelbooks, where it was almost this kind of watercolor art. And the first one I ended up getting at FYE was They Live. And I actually think of all those slip arts, all those steelbooks they were doing at the time, this was a good one. I thought the Halloween 2 and 3 one were sensational, but I really liked the They Live one, and I think they make a picture. Yeah. They were all themed like this. So if you have a collection of these steelbooks, they all have this art style. And I have mine up there. I have a pretty hardy collection of these. And on the inside, guys, as you can see, very simple. But we've got the famous quote, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. So yeah, once I got this, I really got to see the movie look so impressive. And it did look good. So to see this as a 4K remaster was great. And this came out in 2017. And I want to say these didn't actually last that long. They went away pretty quick. So, yeah. But this was great. I really did like this. Of all those steelbooks, I thought this was one of the better ones because it actually threw some poppy colors in there with the yellow sky and everything. So, yeah, I'll put a ton of miles on that, guys. That's long out of print. I can't believe that was 2017. That feels like it was yesterday, but Jesus, time is flying. I gotta savor the moment and enjoy everything, guys. Anyway, so I had decided I wasn't gonna get They Live on 4K. Because I was like, I don't want to upgrade all those movies again. But I'm actually going to show you a bonus in this video. But first of all, let me show you the picture of the They Live 4K. This is the standard version of the film. This is when they abandoned doing special art for the movies the way they did on the Blu-rays and DVDs. And they were deciding to just put out the standard poster art on there. Interesting choice. I don't know why they did that. I guess they figured, well, everybody wants to be able to... Everybody initially flips the art whenever they get the release, so let's just give them the old art that originally came out with the movies. But my thing is, it's like, yeah, we love the original art, but we also loved having new art, and we could have the best of both worlds. We can look at the new art, then pull off the slip, and then see the original artwork. So it's like we get all this art just coming at us. But they decided not to do that again. So for one reason or another, I don't know. I don't pretend to understand Scream Factory's business practices. So that release came out, and I didn't get it. I didn't want to have to upgrade all of John's stuff to 4K. But then, you know, luckily, when I did get to see some of John's movies in 4K, it blew me away, and I was in love with it. But this is what happened. Probably like 3 or 4 months after that came out, I saw this set on Amazon that was about $60, and randomly I saw it go down super cheap to like $30, $35, and I jumped on it. And then as soon as I wanted to go share the link to tell people about it online, it jumped right back up to $65. The set in question was this. the Region B. Now remember, 4K is completely region free, so it doesn't matter what region it's from. The Studio Canal set of John Carpenter classics, and I initially got this because I saw They Live on there. So if you look on here, you got They Live, Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, and The Fog. So that was so cool, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch They Live, which of course, what was the first one I watched when I got this? It was They Live. But I'll show you this really quick. It's got Escape from New York, The Fog, all separate discs, Prince of Darkness, and there it is, They Live. So I popped open They Live and put it in, and I was like, okay, this looks great. I had gotten the 4K, obviously a 4K player by this point. I had a 4K TV. Not as good as a TV if I have now, but you know, I was super impressed with this. So I was really happy, and it also knocked out 4 birds with 1 stone, really, with They Live. Now, they kind of, Scream Factory kind of got me with some of these steel books, but that's besides the point. I'm going to praise Scream Factory with this because this is incredible. So I got this, was great. But like I said, they put out the standard version of the 4K. I want to even say they put out a figure of Keith David at the time as a limited edition release when the movie initially came out. So if you're interested in that, I mean, you may be able to find those online still. But Scream Factory decided, okay, we should probably, you know, bring steelbooks back. I think that they noticed that they're pretty popular right now. Steelbooks seem to be super collectible, especially during the Best Buy era. I do miss the Best Buy era, even though it was somewhat of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But I'll never forget when they announced this, I saw the artwork and I said, this is incredible. And I do think of all the steelbooks that they've done, the 4K steelbooks, nothing touches this. The release in question was this, guys. The 4K steelbook release of They Live. I thought when I saw this, I thought the Army of Darkness one was the best until I got They Live. And I saw it in person. And I said, good God, this is truly, truly amazing. So, yeah, when I got this, it blew me away. And the color scheme on this is just truly beautiful. I love it. I've been feeling They Live so much that I actually put the 4K on earlier when I was cleaning up in here because I just wanted to watch it again. So it's not in there, but you get 2 discs. And the inside, Scream Factory definitely stepped their game up and made much better steelbooks on the 4Ks because they give you this great image of the alien president in here, and you got your 2 discs that go right there. So this is the nicest way I own this film. So Scream Factory went the distance with this movie. They don't do this with every movie, as we can see. The licenses for stuff is kind of moving around. Sometimes they don't re-up, and boom, a movie goes over here, like Texas Chainsaw 2 went right over to Vinegar Syndrome. But, you know, with John Carpenter, I feel like Scream Factory and John Carpenter, all John's movies seem to be doing pretty well. So as of today, when it comes from Scream Factory, this is probably it. This nice release, and I want to say this may even still be available. I'm not sure if it is or it isn't. I'm sure you can get it reasonably priced online. But yeah, guys, so it's so cool to see that, you know, when I first got this movie from Scream Factory, it was this, the DVD release. You know, which also came on Blu-ray as well, but very cool. And I implore you guys to revisit They Live because, you know, rest in peace, Roddy. You know, it's always cool when you watch the movie, so you get to see how big of a guy Roddy was. You forget when you see those wrestlers together, they all look the same size, but Roddy was a big dude, and so was Keith. And it's a really great movie. Obviously, you could say it's a social commentary movie, and I'm not going to argue that, but to me, it's just a damn entertaining movie. A horror movie / action movie, which, you know, just great. I love it to death. I think Roddy is sensational in the movie. Much better than Hell Comes to Frogtown. I'm really not a huge fan of that movie, even though it's pretty bizarro, but They Live, incredible. Let me know which releases you have of They Live, guys. Let me know the first time you got They Live from Scream Factory, which release it was, and how often you watch the movie. If you guys kind of like these chill videos retrospecting the releases of some of these movies, let me know. I'd be happy to do another one. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. They Live kicks ass. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.